Sufjan Stevens shared a health update with fans announcing that he has been hospitalized for about a month now after coming down with Guillain-Barré syndrome. This comes just a couple weeks ahead of the October 6th release date of Sufjan's 11th studio album, Javelin. We're going to talk about exactly what happened to Sufjan per his account of the events, and what this means for this upcoming album as well as his life and career moving forward. What's up, y'all? Devon here again for Obligatory, bringing you another weekly roundup of music news just as we do here on this channel every Friday. Today is September 22nd, 2023. We'll be talking about a good handful of topics here, so there are timestamps if you want to jump around. So Sufjan announced on Wednesday, he shared to his website and Tumblr that he has been diagnosed with GBE. This is a syndrome in where the body's immune system attacks and paralyzes parts of its nervous system. Sufjan explains that one day he woke up unable to walk, his extremities numb and tingling with a heavy sensation, no strength, and no mobility. So by the World Health Organization's definition, Sufjan's symptoms are severe, even for this pretty rare diagnosis. And this is a syndrome that can move into more passive bodily functions, so the ability to swallow and breathe, things like that. This is a life-threatening disease that thankfully there is treatment for, and most people in even the most severe cases do fully recover physically from. Now that's different from the mental and emotional recovery process that I'm sure is a whole nother thing to grapple with given the very rapid and steep decline of that person's physical health. And Sufjan has reported that he's in good spirits despite having spent the majority of the last month in a hospital bed and in a wheelchair, and that he's hopeful about his recovery process as he looks to learn to walk again in the course of the next year. This is obviously terrible news and such a heavy reminder of how sudden and intense life can get and can come at us all really at any given moment. So many aspects about his life and his career have been thrown totally into jeopardy by this diagnosis. So of course we're sending Sufjan a ton of love and warmth in his direction as he and his family go through this very difficult time. And I'm still looking forward to what could very well be one of the best Sufjan albums in a good long while. Gonna be a little sad knowing he's going through something like this, but again, as fans, I think one of the biggest things we can do is just support this album, purchase the album, share it with friends, share it with our community, and, you know, hope for the best for him moving forward. Now, the next story here is something I've been excited about, honestly, for years, and I've really been keeping tabs on it. Anderson.Paak continues to tease this upcoming No Worries album. That is the duo between Anderson.Paak on the vocals and the lo-fi producer Knowledge on the beats. Anderson posted to his Instagram a very blurry image of what looks like the track list for the album, like a notebook that has the track list written on it. You can discern like maybe a couple song titles here, but I think really what we can glean from it is we have 19 track titles here, and we have a running set of timestamps going down as well that ends at 45 minutes and 30 seconds. So it seems like we've gone from having an album in progress to almost done to done and potentially on the road to releasing. Anderson also posted separately a video from his Old Town Road cover that he did a few years back that now has this Knowledge beat underneath it. It's very fire, it's very good, worth checking it out. In the caption of that post says, "It's almost time," and tagging Knowledge. So again, with the steady stream of updates and teases that Anderson has thrown out there over the past several months, and them having gone previously on tour this summer and playing a bunch of unreleased music in the process, I really think that there's a good shot, a good chance that we'll hear this album sooner rather than later. We also got to look at the track list for Lahai, the upcoming second studio album by Sampha. Now we have confirmation that the album is 14 tracks long across 44 minutes. I think the main surprise here, if anything, is that there's just one feature on the track list, unless, you know, they're hiding other ones. I know Drake said that him and Sampha had a song together. Maybe that's something that'll show up on For All the Dogs. Earl Sweatshirt recently went on to Apple Music for an interview with Zane Lowe about the Doris 10-year anniversary. Now, this wasn't really a hard-hitting interview with like lots of info and teasers coming out about new music or different projects and whatnot. A lot of it was very reflective on that Doris time frame, and I think if you're a fan of Earl, this is a conversation that you would want to listen to. Lil Wayne seems to be rolling out a few different projects right now as pre-saves have gone live for an upcoming mixtape type project titled The Fix Before the Six. This is something that Lil Wayne has done in the past, with projects like Sorry for the Wait, where he drops a mixtape ahead of one of these Carter albums or one of his big albums. And then 2 Chainz stated in an interview with The Source this week that he and Lil Wayne are following up their 2016 Collie Grove project with a Collie Grove 2. And that's not just like a, oh yeah, we're in the studio, we're in the lab working on it type thing. No. 2 videos have been shot. Tracklist itself is being mixed and mastered as we speak. And he also says that we're probably going to hear it by the end of the year. So it's looking like there's a very good chance we could get 2 Lil Wayne associated projects by the end of 2023, and that in 2024 we may be getting this Carter 6 album. We mentioned Drake and For All the Dogs in this video previously. This is kind of last week's story, but Drake has pushed the album back to October 6th. If you recall, the initial release date was today. Basically, it kind of seems like Drake is still in the process of making this album, that upon announcing this album, he's still steadily working on it. And so he explained that he came to a crossroads of either shortening his tour or delaying the album, and that's the route he chose to go. Some question marks surrounding it. And then another story that we kind of covered previously, Shabaka Hutchings, who recently announced that he would be retiring his saxophone that he's played on many projects and bands like Sons of Kemet, or The Comet Is Coming, or Shabaka and the Ancestors, performed this week in what he said would be one of his last shows, performing on the saxophone, playing the role of Pharoah Sanders alongside Floating Points in a performance of the album Promises. If you haven't heard Promises, it is amazing, and it's an album that made really significant waves in the jazz genre as well as critical music spaces. Made a lot of year-end lists, including mine, and just recently Pharoah Sanders had passed away. Now, I hear the performance of this album, especially by Shabaka, was absolutely amazing. I haven't been able to hear really any of it, but I am linking down in the description a link to a video that you can listen to most of it and even watch the first few minutes of the performance. Next week is going to be nuts, and that's on top of September being a really good music month as it already was. We are ending with a bang here. Animal Collective, Georgia Smith, Arm & Hammer, Cherry Glazer, Wilco, and 106 Point Never, all dropping albums next week. October is looking like a pretty good month as well. I'm currently working on a video breaking down a lot of our favorite upcoming albums. I already mentioned how Drake's project got pushed back to October. Earl's project is going to be released to streaming with new songs in October. Sampha's album is coming in October. It's going to be fantastic. Now, if you're curious as to what new music came out this week across several different genres, we post that information to our Instagram page every Friday. And we also do a weekly new music breakdown video on this channel as well. So follow us on Instagram @Obligatory. You can follow me @6dev6 on Instagram. Subscribe to the channel if you like music. We post new videos every week. Seriously, thank you for watching all the way to the end of the video. We'll be back again next week on Friday with more news, and I'll see you then, all right? Peace out.